Hi guys, welcome back. This is Adrian of Addy Journals, and today I wanted to flip through my travel journals from Taiwan and Korea and just show you more or less how this journal itself is laid out. How you can see it very well that it's really thick at this moment, and there's quite a lot to it. So I wanted to just maybe show you what's at the end of a trip, what it looks like and what I have in it, and maybe go through what I'm going to do with some of the items that I have left, and then also do a little bit of a flip through of the journals themselves and what's in them. All right, so let's dive right in. So this is the olive green traveler's notebook. It looks more brown than it does green, but as you may remember from my initial video, this one has a zipper pouch, and inside this zipper pouch I have some remaining stickers from the travel series that I have, and then the coffee series as well. And then I do have, this is part of the series, I do have some purchases and tickets in here for things that we purchased in Taiwan, Korea, and wherever else we were at. So you can see that there's like a business card, and then some additional purchases from Olive & Young and tambourines and things like that. Now, obviously I can't really read half of this. At least not all of it, so I don't know if I'm going to keep this, if it's even worth keeping, but I do have that, and I will want to think about what I'm going to do with this. But at the moment, this is either I am going to keep this and I'm going to put it back into the back of my journals, or I will have to figure out a different way of keeping this. And then I have a little paper clip over here as well. So this is what I brought back with me. I also have 2 stickers from Plain Stationery in Taiwan. I'm thinking, as opposed to just putting them into the notebooks, I am thinking of just putting them on top of the binder where I'm going to be holding this or putting this for archives. So that's my thought process at the moment with this. So that's kind of where I'm leaning at. So within that, I also ended up purchasing the folder. I don't know how to call this, but this folder, and inside it I have a coffee thing, like coffee holder that I got in one of the stores. I thought I was going to put that into my notebook, but honestly I just forgot. And then I have 2 stickers from Taiwan and Taipei specifically that I am thinking maybe just putting on the binder, or I am going to just put it inside one of these notebooks. Again, not really sure how I feel about this. We'll see what inspiration strikes. But with respect to this, I bought it because I bought it in Korea to kind of appease one of the shop owners. I felt really bad about just browsing about and not buying anything. And to be fair, I didn't really use this that much. It's just, I don't find it really useful. I tried to decorate it a little bit with some of the stamps, but I'm leaning right now toward just trashing this after I'm done and putting everything away, unless maybe someone else has an idea that you want to share on what I can do with this. I do not think that I will be using this for another trip. I don't see the value in that. I prefer the zipper pouch to hold things, but I bought it and so I used it. I also have some of the stamps here. I use many of them, and I've already put a lot of them into my journals, except for these 2, which I think I'm going to put in the back of my Seoul journal. But here I also have the old ones. I tend to do quite a few stamps before I get the right one. So this one has some of the overly saturated stamps, or the stamps that did not come out as well as I would have liked them to. Though some of them are very good. So I'm still thinking about what I want to do with this. Maybe I would put it into this and save it if I feel like I want to save this. So that's this so far. And then here we have the Korea. So this is the Seoul travel journal. And as you can see, this face got a little ripped, so I had to put a bit of tape on that, but this is what it looks like, all right? So to start off, it has the 2025, which you guys seen, the itinerary, and then also the packing list here. So everything that I packed, repacked, and things like that. The next one would be the expenses. So this is what the expense trackers look like. It's all of the spending in Korea that we have, and including all of the hotels, the bookings, and all of that. I intended to have 4 pages, but it turned out that I had no real need to use all 4 pages for the tracker. So I think this is one of those areas where maybe I might want to decorate after the fact. So here's the stuff, the flights, and then so this is the first day, flights, and then we have Toronto. So we spent a night in Toronto. We flew a little bit ahead of time because Newark was having a lot of issues, so the airport closest to us was having a lot of issues and problems. And then we caught the flight the next day on Sunday in the morning to Seoul. So you have the tickets, and then the first day that we arrived. So the first day that we arrived was pretty bad. We didn't know how to get to our hotel, and we had forgotten to exchange money, so we didn't really have any way to get there except by Uber, and it took a while for someone to come and pick us up. So this is the first full day, exploring the castle, exploring the Lotte Tower. So we went to the Lotte Tower, and this is kind of like a spread for the Lotte Tower here, with the Seoul sky and the stickers, and then some outtakes. And then this at the end of the night, I ended up doing a outtakes page if there were more photos that I wanted to print, or just more items that I wanted to print and put into my journals. Now, keep in mind that most of my journals I write on the day of or the following morning, so it's pretty consistent with the day, and I'm writing about the day. Sometimes it's a lot, sometimes it's less, but I'm always putting in everything that happened the day of or the day before. Now this one is a little bit of a different one because I created like the Archer's Bakery goods, and then I put the wax paper bag in here, and inside the bag there's some more stuff, so it's like an extra goodie bag, but it does make the journal a little thicker than I would expect it to. So I don't know if I would try this in the future, but it was definitely fun to do and include that. As you can see, there's a lot more writing, and then sometimes there will be a page or two dedicated to stickers and just stubs, things like that. We ended up doing the Korean War Memorial in the National Museum at the same time, or the same day, and we then wandered around afterwards. Here we have another day. This time we went to the other palace, and there's some stickers that I bought in the palaces throughout the time frame. So this is what they look like, and then the general admission ticket. So you can see that it's not always like a consistently beautiful layout every time, but I think that for me this layout works the best because it allows me to be present in the moment and bring those elements of the day to my journal. And this is really the the two products that I purchased from Tambourines for the perfume. So it has that, and it makes my journal smell really nice. Every time I open it, it's like this whiff of the smell. Yeah, so we have Namsan, other highlights of what we ended up doing, business card. This is the postcard that I sent, and this was, by the way, I sent 4 postcards per city. So I have Korea and I have Toronto in there, and this happened on the 24th of May. It is now, I think, the 26th of June when I'm filming this, and all of my pen pals have received them, but it was pretty interesting to watch when they received a postcard. So, you know, some of them received it like one postcard, some of them received a couple of postcards and things like that. And then it would come over time. So, you know, chopstick, leftovers, the tickets of purchases, and then this is Onion when we went to Onion, and this is also the purchases that I made at the Time. So this is the Time, and I don't know if the video that I'm going to talk about this store is out by the time I release this, or it's going to come after, but yeah, this was not a great experience. And then we have the flight and a postcard from the hotel. And so I was thinking of adding just more stickers here, some of these elements here, just kind of like additional outtakes, just to get them all in and use up the pages here. Unfortunately, this is one of those situations where if I'm not looking at everything in front of me and I don't have the things laid out that I've collected throughout the day, I tend to forget them. So I know where this is from, but it's just out of place. It's not going to go with the actual visit that I had. So this was from the Korean War Memorial. So I could just stick them in here, or I could just put them in here and add like additional context to that to just have that information in there. But yeah, this is only 2 pages really left at the end of this trip from Korea. And so this is the Korean side of it, of the trip. Overall, I had a great time with filling this out. It does get a little stressful after a while if, you know, you don't stay on top of it and don't journal. And I know some people like to decorate in a certain way and things like that. I'm not really a fan of it because I don't know how much I'm going to write that given day or how many pictures I'm going to want to print out. So I always want to make sure I give myself enough space to do spreads like this and incorporate the day details and things like that. So, but yes, I do tend to write a lot in my journals, very much. And then here's another postcard. I tend to like to write postcards to myself. So I think I'm gonna finish up this postcard and add it into the journal, and then this will be the end of this journal for Korea. All right, and now this one is the Taiwan journal, so we're gonna go ahead and jump into this. Okay, so this is the Taiwan, right? Again, the itinerary, the expenses tracker, but because this is an ongoing trip, I didn't really have to add in like the packing list, so I kept that blank. Surprisingly, we only ended up using one page instead of 2 pages, so I have a bit of space in the front for this, and so I'm thinking about just adding maybe some of these stickers and things like that into here. So now first day, a bit of writing, and then the memorial, the museum, So I tend to, it depends on how I feel, but I tend to decorate either before or after to give it based on how much space I have or how much I tend to write. Like for example, these, this one I wrote the Taipei 101 on the top, and then I knew that I was gonna have enough space for some pictures, but not everything. So I made like these little doors with stickers and just like put some of the stamps from the Taipei 101 tower there, along with the stickers. And I wanted it to be a 2-page badge. So there is a little bit of planning in terms of what I want it to look like, but I won't know until I open up the notebook on whether or not I will use 2 pages or 1. And then you can see again some other outtakes where I didn't have time or I didn't have a chance or just didn't fit within the frame or like the pages in question. So I just added it at the end. Again, I'm very much the kind of person that if I can't see it or if I don't have it laid out in front of me, I will tend to forget where what we did, like where the stuff is, and then I won't put it into the notebook. So you can see, so this is just a page for our visit to Ayabungu, a page for prop, and then 2 pages for TPL stationery, simply because they had a lot more like stamp stuff and then a lot more stuff to say to it, and a picture of the Nico Neko postcards. Yeah, so you have more stamps, and then my recommendation here on like what I recommended for the stationery stuff. So there's that, and then the next day more writing and then more stickers, and like my experience with Molly Lifestyle, the plain stationery, which is what these 2 stickers are from. So this one also has the stamp, and I put that in there. And then just the Vision stationery, what we did. And then we have Tools to Live By, so I put that in there as well. And then the second to last day, so we did like the gondola ride, Moroccan gondola, the temple. And again, I tend to write them around pictures and add in pictures and items in here throughout my trip. And yeah, this is why it's so important for me to have a printer with me that prints pictures, even if it is a zinc printer. I haven't yet had any problems with it, but I'm sure I hear stories about it, disappearing after a while and things like that. So you can see the pictures that I put in, that I took with my Fujifilm. I tend to use a Fujifilm for my pictures. And then this will be like our last day. And then our boarding pass tickets. And us leaving. So this is the one that has a little bit more space in it in the journal. And this one actually is a little thinner in terms of the items in here. So I was thinking of maybe just putting in some of the stickers in here and maybe some of the items that were left over. But again, I'm kind of on the fence with this, and on the fence of like what I'm going to do with this and where I'm going to put it. But to me, it's very wasteful not to fill out the rest of this. So I think that it would make a lot of sense to basically add this information or add some stuff to this, put the stickers in, maybe, like add this into it, some of this. I'm not really sure yet, but I definitely don't want to leave these just blank. Otherwise, if I decide that I'm not going to do that, then what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to prepare this for another trip, whether it's a short one or a long one, doesn't matter. I might just take a few pages of this and prepare it for like a short weekend trip or something, and then journal that weekend trip in here, and then that way it will fulfill all of that. But I still think that I'm gonna first try to put some stickers in here, along with the ones, like some of the items into the other one. But this is pretty much finished. I'm not going to really go any further than that in here, but yeah, this is finished. This is it. So this is just kind of my journaling style on the go, and I make sure to add all of that information. All right. Let me know, what you think of this. What's your journaling style like? And if you have questions about it, I'd love to share more about this if you're interested. And I think it would be really fun. It's definitely one of my favorite things to do during my travels. All right, well, thank you for being here with me today. I wish you a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.